Hello and welcome to my new video here on YouTube. You're watching the channel from Starfishfinance, and here we talk about money. Today I will analyze why most private investors fail and the main cause for it. So if you want to avoid these mistakes, stay tuned. Very few people really deal in depth with investing and financially planning for retirement. Even fewer pursue the goal of reaching financial freedom. Financial freedom, however, can have many definitions, and I will make a detailed video about this later. I keep asking myself, why is it the case that most private investors make such bad experiences when investing? Unfortunately, there are many persistent prejudices among people against investing. A large part of the population believes that investing is complicated, involves high risks, and is only suitable for people with a lot of money. But where does this resentment towards the financial markets and investing in general come from? After all, these concerns are to a certain extent based on the truth, as it is true that many private investors have lost a lot of money by investing in the financial markets, often also by investing in financial products which they themselves did not understand or which were simply recommended to them by their bank advisors. I will explain in my videos how you, as a private investor, can build up substantial assets in a relatively safe way. For this strategy to work, you should be prepared for a long-term investment horizon. So let's start with the most common mistakes that private investors make. Do not bet on aging, supposedly safe horses. Most private investors are considered particularly conservative in financial matters and love to put their money on aging horses. They buy financial products that are currently experiencing a boom phase or have already gone through it. The problem was nicely summarized by the American Institute of Economic Research, where they stated it as skating where the puck was. To rely exclusively on trends can be disadvantageous in the long run. Successful investors pursue a different strategy. They look for companies that have a unique history, a unique, distinguished feature that sets them apart from all the other companies. Examples are Tesla, Apple, Coca-Cola, or McDonald's. Unique distinguishing features ensure that these companies remain at the top for a long time and lose hardly any value even in times of a crisis. Avoid impulsive buying. Impulsive buying occurs when a decision to buy is not based on a logical and rational decision, but is overwhelmed by the spontaneous feeling of having to have. On the financial markets, this behavior can lead to high losses. There, impulsive buying is often triggered by trends and booms. Simply put, the psychological phenomenon of herd instinct. This herd instinct can lead to the formation of bubbles, which sooner or later burst and lead to losses. ETFs, for example, can drastically reduce this risk. Avoid short-term expectations. When you start to deal with dividend income, compound interest, or share price development, you quickly become greedy. Hardly any good evokes more positive and negative emotions than money. I will show you a way how you can become wealthy with strategically wise investments. However, in the end, it is up to you to make sure that this is done correctly. Our goal is to successively increase our capital flows with minimal time commitment. Depending on how much you can save each month or how much you're willing to save, this goal can take from several years up to decades. So stay with your project to generate assets and passive income. But be patient and avoid unrealistic short-term expectations. Instead, rely on the factors of time and compound interest. For beginners, conservative and disciplined behavior pays off, especially well as it reduces the probability of losses. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Putting all your eggs in one basket is a popular mistake made especially by beginners on the financial markets. The more eggs you lay in a single basket, the worse it is if you drop it. We want to avoid this risk at any cost. Otherwise, if a company or an industry experiences economic problems, the majority of our portfolio could suffer a drastic loss in value. We reduce this risk through diversification. Spreading your investments from the very beginning is elementary. As long as your investments are broadly diversified, you will certainly generate a positive return in the long term or stable and steadily increasing passive income streams. Do not invest money you still need. Playing with money that you will need in the foreseeable future, or in the worst case, which you may not even have, is the biggest mistake you can make as an investor. The most important rule is therefore to invest only those amounts of money you do not need in the long run, and in the worst case of a bankruptcy, even forever. If you cannot follow this basic rule, your investments will become speculation and gambling in the casino. These 5 mistakes may seem trivial to you right now. However, I ask you to check your investment behavior regularly and to question it in order to avoid falling into one of these 5 traps. This will ensure that your investments will never get you into financial difficulties and you can stick to them over a long-term horizon. So this was it, my version of the 5 most common mistakes beginners make when they start investing. I hope you could learn something. If so, you can support my work by clicking the like button and subscribing to this channel. In case of any questions, leave a comment or send me a message. I'm always happy to help you. Have a nice day and see you in my next video. Bye.